Kia ora guys, gals, and Legionnaires. Rycon here, and welcome back to the Town Hall. Welcome to the Town Hall. It has been a freaking long time since we have done this. I trust that you guys can hear me, that I'm not just coming out of one side, that everything is okay for a change. We'll cross our fingers on that one. I'll get some confirmation from you all in chat that we are looking good, that we're looking fine, and we'll continue on. But if you haven't been to a town hall before, it's essentially just a hangout between yourselves and me. Unfortunately, we missed the last town hall. I was moving places and I didn't have any internet. Unfortunately, at the time, I was having to spend something like $20 every single gig, so I was trying to use that as best I could back then, and unfortunately a full live stream in 1080 would have probably killed me and my bank account at the same time. So yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? And yeah, Spaniard has been Lotum for 2 months now, so congratulations to the Spaniard who's been able to hold that title for 2 months. Well done, well done. Apparently the audio is A+. Thank you very much, Damocles. And to anyone who hasn't been here before, yeah, essentially we just hang out for an hour, ask me questions, I will answer them, and I'll give you a little bit of a lowdown as to what's happening on the channel and what has happened before as well. First of all, I want to talk about Zealand. It's been a while since we have seen an episode of the Zealand podcast. I did release a text update about that on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Facebook, but I know that not everyone gets to see those, and the ones on YouTube as well don't always pop up, especially if you don't have that kind of setting turned on. So if you don't know what happened, essentially we were ready to record the last chapter. Last minute though, one of the players did have a family emergency and we kind of had to pull the plug because we already had one player that wasn't going to be there, and generally for the most part we can go ahead without one person being there. I can find a story reason for them to do their own thing essentially, or I can NPC them, but when we have 2 people missing, it's just a little bit too much, unfortunately. So with that being the case, we're actually recording Zealand today. So at the moment it is morning in New Zealand. I'll try and slow down a little bit. We've got an hour Rycon, just take your time. It is the morning in New Zealand, and we're going to be recording it this evening. So I'm super hyped to put them through the paces for that. So yeah, there we go. Pringles, thank you for making it. You had an alarm set for 7:30. Well done. Well done. It's great when you have an alarm set and you wake up before the alarm. I've had that happen before. I was actually trying to think back the other day because I was trying to actually there's a project that I'm wanting to work on at the moment, and it's all about like your best gaming memories, like your memories that you have from when you were a kid essentially. And one of my best gaming memories is when I was, God, I would have been like preteen. I would have been like 11 or 12, I think it was, and at the time I was living in a 2-story house, and I would get up every morning before school. I would get up at 5 o'clock, and I was thinking I didn't have like a watch or an alarm or anything. Somehow I'd trained my brain to wake up at 5. What I used to do was, before I go to sleep, I'd just say the time over and over again in my head, and generally I would wake up at that time. And so I'd wake up as the sun was just starting to rise in New Zealand, and I'd fire up my PC, which I was very lucky at that time to have in my room, and I'd start playing Diablo. Problem was, my mum was just upstairs from me, and obviously if I was getting up at 5 AM in the morning to play a computer game, she wouldn't be super happy. So what I used to do was I used to get my duvet and wrap it around my PC, like wrap it around the whole box, and then just like get my headphones on and then just play Diablo until 7:30, and then jump back into bed, pretend I'd been asleep the entire time until my mum came in and waked me up to get me ready for school. So that was probably one of my best gaming memories, I think. So there we go. Dan Pugh, you're not wrong. There were 3 episodes in chapter 1 of the new season of season 2. The reason that was because they were so long. Generally, for the most part, we try and have the episodes be around about an hour and 15 minutes, whereas in this case they were closer to 2 hours for a lot of them. So essentially, we had the same amount of game time. It was just, unfortunately, it was condensed down to those episodes. So yeah. What, this is on Twitch too? It shouldn't be on Twitch. I hope it isn't on Twitch. Maybe someone's hijacked the stream and is putting it on Twitch. If they are, hey, that's fine. You do you. But yeah, Pringles, I don't know if my computer had cooling back then. Well, obviously it had cooling, but that wasn't something that I was thinking about. So yeah, I was just worried about noise. But yeah, the thing is though, it wasn't actually that loud. It was just me being paranoid about getting caught. So I was like being super cautious about it. So that's why I wrapped my freaking duvet around it like an idiot. So yeah, there we go. I did see someone asking when the next episode of Skyrim is coming out a little earlier on. That's going to be coming out this Sunday or Monday for anyone that lives in my part of the world. So you can expect to get it then. And it was an interesting episode to record because we are essentially in this episode we're in a part of Skyrim that I hate to go to because it's incredibly buggy. So it makes it really fun to try and record. But hey, we did it for the story. We did it for the story. Leatherquin, Leif is still alive. And actually talking about Leif, we are going to be doing a Leif live stream next week. I'm not sure what time yet, but Leif is at the point that he's at the moment, we need to do a massive amount of gathering. And I was just going to do that off camera, but I thought, no, it could be a chance to just hang out and play Cataclysm and just gather some plants. So that's what we're going to be doing there. So yeah, there we go. That's the plan. So once I actually do have time for that, or rather I have the times for that, I'll be releasing those on Twitter and on Facebook. So if you aren't following me on there yet, I recommend that you do. Also, reason that I say that, having trouble. It's the morning. I'm still kind of waking up. The reason I say that is because I don't know if some of you might have seen in the YouTube news at the moment. It's becoming clear that even if you have notifications turned on, you're not always going to get notifications of every single episode. And even when you do, sometimes videos won't appear under subscriptions. There's a whole lot of weird things going on there. So if you are desperately invested in a series, I would recommend trying to follow me on either Twitter or Facebook, because that's where I post all of the videos, essentially. That's where they go live. Whenever they go live, a link goes there. So you'll know as soon as I've posted something. There we go. MSC, The Next Zealand is coming out next week on the regular time, essentially. So it'll be back then. So there we go. Oh, season 2 isn't in the playlist? That's weird. It should be. Okay. Intriguing. Well, I will investigate that. I just kind of freaked out for a second then because I had one of my monitors just die. But the stream is still going, as far as I can tell. But yeah, so that will be definitely getting added into the playlist. I don't know why it isn't there yet, so we'll make sure that it actually does get in there. All right, let's see. Have I checked out any new role players in the last year, or have I found any new role players? I haven't lately. I'm always trying to look for them. Coria, that's a very good question. If no one's seen that video yet, the how to basic face reveal, which I imagine most of you have seen, as it's got over like 15 million views now, that is just such a great video. So well done, just on so many levels. Just that in my mind, that is the YouTube rewind that we deserve. So I was very, very happy to see that. That was awesome. Darksaber, will we see Amata in New Vegas? I can't say anything about that, but it's an interesting idea, isn't it? It sure is. Dan, I am indeed excited for the Infinity War. I think they're gonna smash it out the park. So yeah. Alkion, what do I think about KOTOR 1 and 2? Is it worthy of a roleplay? Is it worthy of a roleplay? Yeah, because I mean, it's got a silent protagonist in it, so it could kind of work. However, just with it being kind of turn-based and not being so kind of live-action-y, I'm not sure how it would work. I'm not saying it's impossible. I just don't know if it's something that I would be wanting to do here. I would love for someone to do it, because I would watch the crap out of that, but I just don't know if it's something that I personally want to do on here, just because I can't have as much kind of cinematic control over it, so there we go. Yes. Damocles, I actually do have an update for the Zealand Kickstarter and for the Zealand game itself. We've got the final piece of art that we were waiting for at the moment. So myself and the rest of Stormforge, which is Triton and Isaac, we're going to be getting together in the next week and putting together essentially the final touches on it. So what's going to happen with that is that once that is completed, once that it has the seal of approval from all of us, we're going to be releasing the digital version of that first to all of our backers. So every single person that has pledged, they're going to be getting their digital version, and then the process of us getting the physical versions out is going to take a little bit longer because we need to get a proof from drive-through first, and so that can take a little while, especially with us being down at the bottom of the globe. But as soon as we start to have dates from them, we're going to be releasing those. And I have been meaning to do a separate video, which is essentially just keeping you up to date with what's going on with that process at the moment, but it is essentially there. Just those last little final touches that we want to do, just to make sure that everything is okay with it, because once it's out there, we can't take it back. So we want to make sure that there's nothing in there that shouldn't be in there, and that all the rules are set as they should be, just to avoid any kind of confusion. I guess that's what comes from working on something for over a year, is that sometimes things can slip through the gaps, and they've done that before. So it's going to be good for us to just continue the process of just double checking that everything is going to be okay there. Yeah. Ooh, Dardos, do I plan to give an ending to the division? I still feel like that's something that I'd like to do. Yeah, I think if I have a free night, that might be something that we end up doing, even if it is an epilogue of sorts. I feel like Swanson deserves that. So yeah, I'd like to do that for sure. Yeah. Dan, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. I like that. I think I'll be talking to you, Dan. Would I ever consider doing a roleplay on Elder Scrolls Online? Potentially. I guess it's another one of those things where I don't have as much cinematic control over it as I would like to. That's another thing where it's like I would love to see a roleplay done with Elder Scrolls Online. I just don't know if that's something that I would want to do myself. It could be something that I would do for fun, but yeah. Red Wolf, I do indeed accept fan art, and we actually have a fan art reel for the past month that I'm going to put onto the screen over my face, and it's not sized to the screen properly. Good job, Rycon. Well done. Well done. But all this lovely fan art that we have... this has been submitted to the Discord, so... if you don't know what the link to the Discord is, it is in the description. Axel, thank you so much for that fantastic piece of art before. And the piece that we're actually seeing at the moment is part of Stately Raven's little ongoing comic series that he has been doing for Elliot. So yes, if you do have art and you would like to submit it, please do head to the Rycon Roleplays Discord channel and you'll be able to drop it in there. There's a special part of the Discord channel that is dedicated to fan art, and it's the easiest way for me to see it. So we'll look at this wonderful piece by Axel one more time, and then we'll go ahead and disappear that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Callisto, I have actually heard of 1 Hour 1 Life. I was watching some of it recently, and yeah, that was it's a cool game. It's a cool game. I like it. I think it's got a lot of potential to it, and it's just also the idea behind it is really fun as well. That it's constant progression. It's just like that slow thing, and kind of forcing people to work together in a sense. Because it's like if you go lone wolf, you're not going to survive for very long. But yeah, it's a really interesting concept for that kind of game, and I'm glad that developers are doing that, especially indie developers, just thinking outside the box as to what might be fun. And also just having it be that one world, it makes it, you know, it's going to make it difficult, technically speaking, but it's also it makes it that much more fun because then everyone is having the same experience. I think that's the kind of thing that you need to have in those games where there is a slow technological progression over time. You want to see that happening, you know, across the same front, so that everyone has the same kind of experience. It's like, oh well, we're at the Stone Age now. Okay, we're at the Iron Age, etc. I think that's good. Right, let's see. Jessica, completely off topic from games, but what kinds of pets have you had? Ah, yes, Leon does have his wolf and Elliot did have his cat. Well, I've had cats in the past, and I actually had dogs when I was very young. I had a turtle named Smeagol for a number of years, who is now very happy living at a zoo. That's one of those things where you make a decision when you're a kid, and you don't quite get that it's a big decision. Turtles are a big decision. They live for a long time. Smeagol's probably going to outlive me, for all I know. But I made that decision when I was a very young teenager. No, actually before that. I probably would have been about 11, around about when I was playing Diablo with my duvet wrapped around my PC. So yeah, Smeagol was a great little turtle, and yeah, he's still alive and kicking in the zoo and having a good time. What other pets have I had? I had a wonderful pet dog who unfortunately passed away last year, a family dog who was just lovely dog, sweetest dog, and no pets as of current. So yeah, Taylor, yeah, happy Easter to everyone. Happy Easter, and Easter's like an interesting time for me as well because Easter was when I started doing Zealand originally. So before the Zealand that we're playing now, before we actually started putting the book together, when it was just still kind of like a narrative game in my mind. We started that around about like 3-4 years ago, I think now. So yeah, Asher, you're right. We definitely do. Me and Charlotte, we need to get ourselves a doggo. Unfortunately, in the apartment that we're in at the moment, there's no pets allowed. So yeah, might have to be a digital doggo. So there we go. Speaking about the apartment though, we're actually settled in now. We have furniture, which is great. We have things we can sit on. That's awesome. But no, everything's kind of gone really well. The move was difficult, as moves are, but it could have been a lot more difficult. Thankfully, we had friends that helped us out with that, and yeah, I'm happy that we're finally kind of settled now, and for the most part, things are back to where they should be. I honestly, I couldn't believe it. Like, first of all, we had the internet issues, which was, I guess, to be expected. You're not always going to have an easy time with that. But then, literally, as I was recording because I recorded that little I'm back thing twice, because I recorded it once, and then as I was trying to edit it, my whole computer just died. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. Why'd that happen? I tried to restart it, and then it was not detecting Windows at all. So I was like, well, this is cool. That's great. I just want to release this so I can say that I'm back. I guess I'm not. And then yeah, it turned out that the SSD that I had, it hadn't died, but somehow Windows had become corrupted on it. So what that meant was that I had to go out, get a new SSD, and I needed to get a thumb drive, install Windows on that, and then essentially just kind of go through the process of getting it onto a new SSD. So I've got two in there at the moment now, which is neat. So I have one that I'm using for footage primarily, and I have one that I'm using for Windows. And I can kind of go between them if things go wrong. At least that's the idea. Yeah, Pringles, that was essentially it. It was like, yay, I'm back. I'm doing, oh no, I'm not back. Apparently it's going to be another few days because my computer just died. The timing, fantastic. So yeah. Yeah, it was fun to say the least. So yeah. Mustafar, we need to do a tribal start in RimWorld. Well, actually, talking about RimWorld is getting close to version 1. Yeah, they're going to do the full release very, very soon. So I'm excited to see what that's going to be, and I want to talk to all of you about what kind of series we want to do with that when it does release, because obviously I want to do something different than the Skyrim series? No, the Star Wars series. That's very different from Star Wars. Yeah, the Star Wars series that we're doing currently, I want to do something different, so yeah. So what did I do today? Today I've gotten up, I've had a coffee, and I've started live streaming. So that's what I've been doing today so far. Yeah. Let's see. What kind of stories you wish you could roleplay but you haven't done before? So a lot of things actually. So I really want to do a roleplay in Dishonored, just because the character, the story he kind of goes through is amazing. I still want to revisit that. I actually started it, but then I stopped because it was completely screwed up. Technically wise, like the audio was completely screwed up, so it's taken me a long time to go back to that. The Long Dark, which I just see Mustafar has just talked about, and Subnautica as well. So those are the three in the back of my mind at the moment that I'm like, I really, really want and need to do one of those stories. So yes. And also the special edition roleplay that I've been wanting to do, which I've actually kind of changed the character that I had in mind for that originally. So that's going to be an interesting tale once I can actually get to it. But unfortunately, it's all down to timing, which sucks. Leverquin, don't worry, I'm not going to end RimWorld. It's more once version 1 comes out, I will either. I think what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that Star Wars does finish. It's not going to be like a halfway cut off type thing. Yeah. So I just didn't want to miss Echo Team's one there. Watch, look forward to every week. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's very, 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 very kind of you. Survivalist, Damien. I don't think I've heard of Survivalist before. Yeah, I don't actually know what it's about. David, I would like to go back to Seeking Sovngarde as well, but I kind of feel like I owe this roleplay before we do go back to it. I've got a specific idea for what I want to do with Seeking Sovngarde when we go back. I really do want to change what Skyrim is, to an extent. More like change the time that it's set in. Not forward, but rather back. So there'll be more on that once I actually start to get towards that. Banished is a pretty cool game in itself. That's one that I do enjoy to watch, rather than playing myself. There are some games like that where I get a lot more enjoyment out of watching rather than playing. But yeah, I get you on that. Yeah. Have I ever heard of Turok, as in like the dinosaur game? Yeah, like as in like old school Turok. Yeah, I have. If that's the one that you're talking about, Gabe, then yeah, I do know. Apparently, I'm talking too much and too fast. MSC, what games do I play in my free time? Pardon me, I might have to go get some water. I don't actually play a lot of games in my free time, purely just because I spend a lot of my days recording them, and quite often it ends up going into the evening. So I end up editing in the evening as well. But in terms of like games, I would classify games like Zealand, pen and paper games, as games that I play. I've been playing a decent amount of D&D recently as well. So I've started getting back into that, which has been a lot of fun because I did a 2.5 year campaign with my friends. Would have been a few years back now, but I've just started up 2 new campaigns with a group of friends. So that's been really, really cool. Ark, as in like Ark, yeah, I know the Ark you're talking about, but I was trying to remember like the full title. Something Survival, right? Ark, Survival Evolved? Yeah, that's like its full title, right? Yeah, I've actually played Ark. I played Ark quite a bit with Triton, which that was a lot of fun. So yeah, Damocles, I unfortunately don't have any updates for Synthesis yet. I did get to work on it while my computer was, while I didn't have internet, when the computer was dead, couldn't work on anything unfortunately, so I still try and smash that out whenever I can. Dan, I've got 2 characters in D&D at the moment. So one of them is a Triton. So the Tritons, they are, I wouldn't say underwater elves, but kind of underwater elves. You wouldn't want to say that to their face, but yeah. And he is a bard, and I believe he is part of the College of... Oh, damn it. It's literally just slipped from my mind. Essentially, uses a lot of like fey magic and stuff like that to disguise. No, it's not whispers. No, it's not whispers. Thank you though, Triton. No, it starts with M, and I've completely forgotten what it is now. So that's one character. So I'm playing a bard, and actually in a game with Triton. Who's Scott Andrews there in the comments? So in the chat. What's wrong with me? My second character is a wood elf monk, Way of the Open Palm, and I really, really enjoy him. He's a hell of a lot of fun to play, just in terms of like his morals and ideals and all the rest. So yeah. Let's see. I didn't want to miss any other questions there. Sarah says that she'd love to see D&D on the channel. I'd love to do a D&D series on here eventually. That's something that I've been thinking more and more about in the back of my mind. So that's something that you might end up seeing on the channel. So yeah, there we go. I did see, I think it might have been Evelyn asking about how the recording session went for Zealand. We're actually recording it later on today, so pretty much around about 7 hours from now, we're going to be recording that. Yeah. Oh, College of Glamour. Thank you. Yes, that's what it was. College of Glamour. So, yeah, the Triton's name is Namor Sanctus, and yeah, he's part of the College of Glamour. So, like real kind of David Bowie-esque bard. Yeah, that's what we'll go with. Yeah. Origami, I have heard of Bonhart. I did watch a few of Bonhart's episodes. Would have been a few months ago now, and really, really good production quality on those videos. Like audio-wise and everything, like really, really good. Speaking of audio, I don't know if you can hear the sirens in the background. I live very close to one of the main police stations in Auckland, so we get a fair few sirens. But yeah. Most of the time, you all won't be able to hear it, but sometimes it will bleed through. So, yeah, I try and pick up on it as much as I can so I can cut it out. Taylor, what would I rather play, Skyrim or Fallout? I'd love to play Sky Out or Full Room. A Full Room sounds better. Yeah, I'd love to play me some Full Room. Yeah. Mustafa, Project Zomboid. I'm kind of sticking by my guns. Like, when I originally stopped, well, I stopped because it was the end of the story, but the reason I haven't come back to it is that I was saying I was waiting until NPCs were on board. So once NPCs were in, I was going to start again, and unfortunately, they're still not there yet, so yeah, that's unfortunate, but I can't come back to it yet because of that, so there we go. Okay, let's see. Have I considered making a Dwarf Fortress series? I have considered that, but I'm terrible. I'm absolutely terrible at it. So unfortunately, I don't know if that would end very well. In terms of games like that, I'm wanting to do an Unreal World series eventually. Just because that's kind of what I'm doing with Leif now. But I'm also terrible at Unreal World, so that's why I haven't done that at the same time. So yeah, there we go. Would I try Divinity? I would love to do something with Divinity. I know that Triton was playing a hell of a lot of it a while ago, so maybe I could do a collaborative series, maybe get some of my friends involved. It could be just fun, just to play and see what kind of happens with it. So yeah, I'd say that's a maybe. That might be the kind of game where we could stream that. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. State of Decay when it comes out, yeah. See, State of Decay might be the answer of continuing the Project Zomboid series, because I really wanted to do something with Dan Miller, who is Nick's brother, and I did consider doing that in State of Decay 1, but when the next State of Decay comes out, if it's got everything that I kind of need, then we might see a series done with that. So yeah. Why is my wife wearing Whiterun Guard? No, that's Gallag the Guard in the background, and Gallag is doing a fantastic job to protect us, to make sure that we are safe and secure. And so far we are. So yeah, there we go. Axel, would I play D&D with some of my patrons? That's actually a really cool idea. That's something that we might look at doing eventually. Either if it's like through Roll20 or something like that. That's yeah, it's not a bad idea. I definitely want to try and do some more community gaming sessions. Just need to find a good game to do it in, essentially. So yeah, Narnia, I miss them too. I miss them too a lot. So yeah. Dwarf Fortress is not terrible. No, Dwarf Fortress is awesome. I love Dwarf Fortress, but yeah, it is. Yeah, Damien hits a nail on the head there. It's great and terrible. It's terrible in that it can do some terrible things to you. So yeah. Evelyn, everyone will be awake for Zealand, don't worry. I think this will be a little bit easier for Nick as well, because we're essentially recording it at 5 p.m. We're starting at 5 p.m. New Zealand time, which means it's going to be 5 a.m. in the UK. So it's a little bit better than it was before. Before, for him, it was like starting at 11 and then finishing at like 7 in the morning or something wild like that. Like I can't remember. Like he went for a bit of a trip that night. So yeah, it should be a little easier. Yeah. So there we go. Johnny, next Skyrim will be coming out on Sunday. Sunday/Monday, depending on where you are in the world. So yeah. Dan, do I like the Cloverfield Paradox? Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. It was spooky. It was creepy. Speaking of spooky and creepy, I watched Annihilation last night. If anyone's seen Annihilation, you probably know what I'm talking about and what scene I'm talking about. Try not to give too many spoilers away in the chat, but if you haven't seen Annihilation and you have Netflix, I 100% recommend that you check it out, because it is a fantastic movie, and I feel like they get a certain part of science fiction done really, really well. And there is this one scene in Annihilation that involves people being kind of tied to chairs, and there's an animal, and I won't say anything more than that, but it is just all kinds of like horrific and just goddamn straight up creepy. Yeah, so there we go. I highly recommend it, but at the same time, be careful, because that scene will screw you up. So there we go. Yeah. All right, where are we at? DayZ standalone would be great. Yeah. I wanted to do a DayZ series a long time ago, but DayZ never really got to a point where I felt comfortable making a series with it. It always felt a little, well, unfinished, and it still does kind of feel like that to a certain extent. I don't know if I could get the series I want to get out of it. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. Yeah. Who is my favorite divine, Daedra, or tribunal god? It's tough. I don't want to pick favorites. Yeah, I don't know. That's a toughie. Not sure. I mean, I'd kind of lean towards Talos a little bit, but yeah, can't say for sure. Don't know for sure. So yeah, Jessica, I haven't watched or read Under the Dome. Yeah, I haven't. Maybe that's something I could do eventually. Axel, I haven't tried Warframe either. So yeah, I know, Damien. I know. I've pissed off all the other Daedra now. I didn't mean it. I take it back. Please don't punish me. Please. Oh dear. Panda, you are indeed correct. It is time for the Lotum. We are halfway through the Town Hall, and when we're halfway through, that's the time when I announce the Legionnaire of the Month, also known as the Lotum. Thank you very much to the Spaniard who has held the banner for 2 months now, because we unfortunately missed the last Town Hall. So with that, we are going to start to do a drum roll, and I'm going to make sure, well, I'm going to hope that the updated graphic works as it should do. So we're going to do our pathetic little drum roll. Congratulations to the very, very deserving Axel, Roxanne, Void Empress Supreme. Thank you so much, Axel, for your undying service to the Discord, to the community, to the Legion as a whole. You're a very deserving Lotum, and I thank you for your service so far. Keep up the fantastic work, and you're very, very deserving of this as well. You had many, many nominations coming your way, so congratulations for being the Lotum. For everyone else out there, the Lotum is someone that goes above and beyond in the community throughout the month, and Axel has been doing that for a very, very, very long time. So thank you very much, and enjoy your reign, and don't take advantage. Although you will. That's fine. That's fine. It's going to happen. So congratulations, Axel. Well done. Well done. So there we go. Thank you, Axel. There we go. Well, I'm glad you were here as well. I'm glad you're here for the announcement as well. So there we go. Just random, I don't think I have heard of Identity. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Cola, you're talking about, I don't know why I can't remember the name of it. I can't remember the, Xxii? I can't remember the name of it, but, I'm kind of disappointed that that's coming down. I used to watch a lot of the, Chinese launches, And I was super impressed with like their videography of it. Like they do such a good job at shooting launches, especially like, yeah, Tiangong. So I watched a lot of the manned missions to that station, and they were just recorded so well. It was just very, 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 very cool. Yeah, disappointing that it's going down, but yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't ever see too much of the inside of it, too much of what was going on. So yeah, I mean, if it's going, it's going, and I guess it will be impressive seeing that come down in a sense. Gabe, I know it's just the ending, but when can we expect to get Fallout 3 back? Pretty soon, actually. I'd say probably within a few weeks we can expect to get it back. I'm wanting to try and use the time when I would be recording Fallout 3 to try and see if I can finish this Fallout 4 movie off so that we can start the Fallout 4 roleplay, among other things. I'm still doing testing behind the scenes as well with a whole heap of different mods that we want to try and use in that series, so yeah. I'm sure as well, Callisto. I'm sure. Definitely. I'm glad you thought the Fallout 3 finale was awesome. That was difficult to say the least. I had a lot of troubles with that. The most I've had so far out of creating anything, so yeah. That's great, Kenny. Well done. And Ashley, yes, Westworld is coming back. I'm super freaking excited for that. Oh, it's going to be good. I'm just excited to see where it's going to go, where the story is going to kind of go from this point, because like it was the kind of show that could have stood as a one-season thing. I mean, sure, there's still so much more to see. Speaking of so much more, thank you for joining us, Nick Moore. Good to see you. Yeah. Let's see, Blair. How did I come up with a channel that is as good as the? Thanks. Well, I mean, this whole channel has been a community effort in itself. Like, the community has grown around it, and it's just getting stronger and stronger all the time. Yeah, I'm very, very grateful to the community that we have here. The Legion is something that is, it's a rare thing on YouTube, and I'm very, very proud of the community that we have here. Mustafa, what's happened to XCOM? Yeah, so XCOM, essentially what kind of goes down with XCOM is it's recorded at the very, very end of the week. So usually what happens is that I will have a overflow from either Skyrim or Fallout where I need more time to edit it, and that usually ends up cutting into XCOM. And yeah, so what I'm thinking of doing with XCOM, instead of just outright ending it, because I still really enjoy it, is I think I'm going to try and see if we can commit to doing it as a bi-weekly series and just having it stand as a little bit longer. Something else that I wanted to talk about as well is what do we enjoy about that series? I mean, I want to keep all the roleplay elements to it, but do we want to see as much out of game stuff? Or would we rather see the missions happening more often? I mean, I might be able to do like an accelerated kind of almost time-lapse of everything that's happened in between. So yeah, I guess it just depends, like, what do we enjoy about that series the most? Like, what do we want to see? So yeah, but that's the thing. I want to commit to it being bi-weekly so that we actually know that it's going to be coming out. Because at the moment, it's like I'm doing like one episode a month because like I'll be trying to fit it in somewhere. So yeah. Laura, I'm actually I'm in the works of making some shirts and other things. So I'm hoping that either within the next month or the one that follows, depending how crazy things are, we might have our very first ones up and running. So I'll be releasing news about that. Don't worry, you'll be hearing about that one when they are actually available. But I've got some pretty cool ones in the pipeline. So yeah, there should be some very, very cool ones of both Leon and Logan coming out eventually as well. So there we go. Yeah, it is just a little bit of a wild time at the moment. Finishing up the Zealand book in itself does take up a fair amount of time, and everything that kind of surrounds that. So there's a lot of things going on in the background, but yeah, so there we go. Axel, I don't expect you to stop screaming. I can kind of imagine you running around in the back of the hall screaming your lungs out, so that's good. Yeah. Origami, 100%. 100%. I used to play with my Dragon Ball Z figurines with my brother, and we both used to like voice them. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. There we go. Pringles, that's actually not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. See, that's the thing, is like, I will be coming to a lot of you about like what you would like to see on a shirt. Like, we've had a lot of quotes and things throughout the years, and there are a lot of memes that have come from both Leon's series and Logan and the others. So if there is something that you personally would like to see, that you would like to, you know, you would like to have for whatever reason, or would like to see me wearing as well, I'll have to try and come up with a submission place somewhere for that. So yeah, there definitely should be a Pooh Clue shirt as well. Pooh's Clues, 100%, yeah. And coffee mugs as well. Definitely gonna be coffee mugs. Oh, cola. Beard rings could be a thing. How did I tie it in there? I kind of just like wind stuff together. I've got one on the back of my head as well, on this braid here. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe we could do beard rings and braid rings. So there we go. Axel, yeah, of course. Yeah, there we go. Dear. Yeah, actually, Duck, that's a good one. Catching plates and cut my finger. 100%. Yeah, Leon grunts. It's just got to be like a grunt or a hmm. There's got to be like a shirt as well, I reckon, for sure. Drive Safely featuring Elliot. See, this is great. These are all gold. These are all absolute gold. So, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Hey, Damocles, you can wear beard rings in your hair as well. So there you go. They're multi-purpose, multifaceted beard rings. Yeah. I can always imagine Henry forging the beard ring in old skellets. Yeah, definitely. Force brewed coffee, 100%. See, this is what I was talking about. All fantastic ideas. Yeah, Triton's force brewed tea and coffee. What do you think about that, Triton? I think that's a great idea. We definitely have to get that designed, 100%. So there we go. There's a lot of things. Mr. Akledama. There is no news, unfortunately, about Zomboid. I haven't heard anything about NPCs for a very long time, unfortunately. So yeah. Ah, nice, Mac. Yeah, we could do my name is Leonidas, my name is Leonidas Aventus, my name is Logan Carter, my name is etc. Just go through all the characters, just my name is, and then boop, 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 boop. Yeah, that could be cool. Definitely. Yeah. Hello, my name is character list. Yeah, definitely. Echo Team, Bannerlord. I am so hyped about that. I feel like that is my game of the year that I'm hyped for. So yeah, we're 100% going to be doing something with that series. I want it to be a role play. It will be a role play, but I think it might be like it's like in between a let's play and a role play. We already have let's role plays, so it'll be like a let's role play. Who knows? Something like that. I want to do some more Darkest Dungeon, Asher. I just unfortunately haven't had the evenings to do it. But I'd love to do that very, very soon. So we're going to be live streaming next week, Cataclysm. So perhaps there might be an evening where I could do a little bit of Darkest Dungeon. Yeah, I mean, at least I do want to jump back into it. Yeah, we'll see what we're going to do about that. I have a goal I kind of set out at the start of the year for myself as well. At some point throughout this year, I definitely want to do a 24-hour charity stream at some point. It's on my list of goals for the year, and it's something that I 100% want to do. So it's something that I'm going to talk to some other YouTubers about, what they've done in the past, their experiences with different charities, and look into that and see what we're going to be able to do there. And then we will decide what it is that we want to play for 24 hours. We're probably not just going to play one thing for 24 hours, but yeah, it probably will be a number of them. So yeah. Alex, why the Skyrim background? Why not? It's a pretty good haul. I mean, Balgruth is nice enough to host me for now, so I'll accept him for now. And he actually has really, really good fiber. It's like legit. They use the dragon like sinew to send optical signals along. Farengar does something. I'm not sure what it is. It's alchemy, but great internet. Really, really good here, and it's free as well. So what can you say? Yeah, there we go. How about a book with the print roleplay ideas? Oh, so like I don't know if I quite get the meaning of that. Left 4 Dead 2 for 24 hours? Oh, for the list, for the 24-hour list. I was just like, Left 4 Dead 2 for 24 hours? God damn. Yeah. No corrosive zombie shirt. Yes, yes. See, these are the things. These are the things. 100%. Yeah. Ah. Yeah, Lydia does kind of just like stare at me a little bit. I kind of look slightly similar to Leon sometimes, so she gets a little confused. Although I'm nowhere near as muscular as Leon is, so there we go. That's an awesome idea, Mrs. Brisby. That's probably one of my favorite startings in Cataclysm, the really bad day. It's just so good. It's like you start off as like a drug addict, right? And you have an infection and you're in the shower. It's just like, it's like the worst, and the house is on fire. So it's like the worst case scenario ever. So good. So yeah. Oh, Pringles, I'm just Leon that hasn't had anything to eat for a very, very long time. I'm one of the creatures from inside the shard. Yeah. I don't quite have the claws that they did, so there we go. But yeah, I definitely love to do a Cataclysm live stream as part of that, doing that. That'd be awesome. That'd be really, really cool. Thank you, Amethyst. Thank you. Every one of the Cataclysm series that we've done so far has just been so much fun. You find really bad day easier to survive in the lab. Wow. I don't know if I've properly survived. Like, I remember every time I just end up like grabbing a sheet, trying to wear that to stay warm. Like, I know it's tough. Evelyn, the feet and the hands, I know what you mean. They're creepy and they're weird. After the first one, I was like, I'm not so sure about this. I did do 3 more afterwards, so we like I said, we've got like the week to try and find out how we feel about it. So we'll see what's going to happen with that one. We'll vote. I'll put a poll at the end of the last video, and I'll actually make sure that it's known that it's going to be that one. Yeah, because they're a little weird. They're a little weird. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in the latest episode of RimWorld, we have had a mod update that adds in hands and feet for the pawns, and it's a little strange, to say the least. Yeah, Damien, it's not RimWorld so much, it's the facial stuff mod that has added in feet and hands, and they're a little weird. They're a little weird, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Never survived the lab. Ah, okay. I have to admit, like, I did do some tests before we did Dusk. Alex, would I ever attempt a VR roleplay? Well, that's the thing. Is like, I remember like a long time ago. I can't remember if it was Maddie. I think it might have been Mr. Maddie Plays. Did a little bit of a talk about like VR in New Vegas, and even did like a little test. And I was like, yes, like that's what I want. Like with my kind of VR, I don't want to be using controllers. Like, I don't want to have controllers. I want to have a keyboard, a mouse, and a headset for me. I want to be sitting in my chair. And what I want the headset to be there for is to be able to move, like have the mouse control be for my actual weapon, but my head control to be for just, like, looking around. Because so much of what I try and do with my mouse is acting. Like, trying to act with a mouse is difficult. As in, like, you know, letting your head convey emotion and stuff like that. It's so much easier to do when you actually have a headset on, because it can just be like, you know, just like bring your head to the side. Like there is so much more that you can convey from that. So that would be really cool if I could have it work kind of like that. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, not sure. Let's see. Pringles. Yeah, no, that's the thing, is like, I wouldn't do anything like that without Gary's permission. Like, I'd go to Smart Blue Cat, and I would 100% share any kind of profit that comes from that, because that is his character. I'd never try and steal something like that from him. Not in 100. Yeah, 200 meters. Yeah, 200 meters, 100%. See, this is the quality. That's the quality stuff that we're talking about. Yeah, definitely. Oh, dear. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm excited about the idea of the 24-hour stream. So yeah. I mean, yeah, Blood Mime, it pretty much would mean 24 hours. So I wouldn't sleep for 24 hours. There'd be a few breaks in between. Might be like there'd be like bio breaks, essentially just short intermissions where I'd need to go and relieve myself. But yeah, we've had fun. I would prepare it as much as I can with energy drinks and like 1 square meals, which are essentially like a very basic form of food here in New Zealand. So I could always go with that. But yeah, it would be a hell of a lot of fun, and it's something that I would like to try and turn it into a annual event. So yeah, I don't know at the moment. Facts matter. I'm not sure what charity I'd be leaning towards at this stage, but there are a lot of them that are very much built to work with streaming as well. So I'm going to talk to some other YouTubers and see what the idea is for that. So yeah. When I started the Cataclysm Dusk Tale, did I expect the Primitive series to go on this long? Oh, as in like Dusk's one, the current one? Yeah, I didn't anticipate it to go on that long. I thought we might die before we even get out of the lab. It was starting to look like that when we had the infection as well. Like once we actually caught that really bad infection, I thought, if we don't find some royal jelly, we are going to die. So yeah, I thought that was a definite possibility. So yeah. Will I be implementing how do you want to do this into Zealand? Not exactly. No. I'll have to reword that. I'd never steal something like that. But obviously, I imagine if we do roll any 9s in this episode of Zealand, there's going to be a lot of 9 constantly. No doubt, it's going to be there. So yeah. Yeah, there we go. Who was my favorite Outlast villain? That's a tough one because they are all really good. So picking one in particular isn't an easy task. Yeah, I don't think I can. I don't think I can pick a favorite there. Because I feel like it's like the Oblivion, it's like the Elder Scrolls gods. Like if I choose one, the rest of them are going to be angry at me, and I don't want any of those frackers coming for me during the night. No way. Yeah, Whistleblower was just Whistleblower. Yeah, that's still. Yeah. What did I think of Outlast 2? I thought it was a beautiful game in terms of like the visuals. I enjoyed it. But the ending left me really disappointed. Yeah. I was quite disappointed with the ending. Yeah. I expected, I don't know what I expected. That's a tough thing. Is sometimes you can have like expectations that you don't even know what your expectations were. But yeah, I think Dan, that's how I felt towards the end of it. I just felt underwhelmed with how it finished. I did feel like there was a lot of tension there as well. But yeah, just in terms of the ending itself, I just didn't feel like it gave me the satisfaction, the ending that it came. So yeah, it wasn't quite what I was after. So yeah, no, it built up a lot and then it just didn't deliver. There were a lot of things where I was just annoyed that we just didn't get an answer to it. Like when we're on the lake and we see that facility off in the distance, I'm like, that's where the game's going to end. You know, because I'm used to that now with game design. I've been spoiled by games like Dark Souls where you see something and you can go to it. Like, it's like it teases you with what's going to come later. Apologies if you can hear my stomach rumbling. But they tease you with what you're going to be able to experience later. And I thought that's what they were doing there. I was like, okay, cool. So they've teased this facility off in the distance. We're going to be able to go to it. We're going to be able to see it. That's going to be awesome. Cool. We don't. Yeah. So that was a bit disappointing. I was expecting us to go there and then find all of the equipment that they've been using to essentially test these people that were here. You know, with the lights and the sounds, the hypnosis that they were doing. I expected to find that facility. I mean, like, that would just be cool, but no. I mean, yeah, it was a bit disappointing. So yeah. Yeah, unresolved foreshadowing is the worst. And that's something that you can control in a game. That's something that you can't control in a pen and paper game. Like in Zealand, I might foreshadow something and then the players might be like, we're going to do something else. And that's perfectly fine. But in a video game, when you foreshadow something like that, you should really go into it. I mean, yeah, you're right, Callisto, it did have too many threads that just didn't get solved, and I thought, oh, well, maybe they're going to try and resolve it in a DLC, but I was like, but no, I want Blair to be the one to, Blake, to be the one to solve it, you know? I want him to be the one that sees these things, that does these things, but, well, there we go. Yeah. What can I say? Have I seen any good films yet? I saw Ready Player One yesterday. You've seen it already? Is it out? Huh. Well, I'm definitely going to be seeing it. But yeah, Nick, earlier I was talking about Annihilation. I highly recommend it, but at the same time, only see it if you're okay with disturbing scenes that are rather disturbing. Really cool movie, though. Very, very cool. So, yeah. Mustafa, we're actually very close to the end at the moment. We only have 4 minutes left to go, so let's go for a lightning round. So if you have any questions, if you have anything that I'd like to answer, please do start firing those questions now, and I will answer them as quickly as I possibly can. Evelyn, cliffhangers are a difficult thing to get around, right? Because, yeah, without going into too much detail, I feel like cliffhangers are necessary in storytelling to a certain degree, because not that you want to leave things unfinished, you're always going to come back and tell more about them, but yeah, it's tough to get around them without an ending just feeling like, I mean, sometimes, yes, it is good to have, like, a break, but it's tough at the same time. Axel, no, can't do a backflip. Axel, both these questions from Axel, god damn it. Alright, let's see. My voice isn't going to be good enough at the moment, Pringles, to do that justice, so I'll be avoiding that one for now. Just when I talk like in my normal voice for such a long time. Gabe, do I think the bleeping will stay? No, I don't think so. Literally, I just do it for fun, because quite often I don't watch the entire episode of Frostback. Like, once I've recorded it, boom, that's it. I'll do a few tech checks to see that it's okay throughout all of it, but for the most part, they don't have any editing in them, so I don't go back through them. So quite often I'll be slipping up and I'll be saying stuff. For the most part, like, it doesn't bother me. I know it bothers some people. I just put them in there because it's funny. So yeah, I don't think it will be staying forever. It just depends if I'm feeling in the mood, really, during the day. So yeah, there we go. What's my favorite version of Logan? Pre-brain surgery, post, or post-headshot? I'd say pre. I'd say the Logan that just came out of the vault when he was still super innocent and he hadn't killed anyone. And yeah, that's my favorite Logan. Which is, it's fleeting, because, you know, that kind of person can't live for long. And he didn't, in a sense. He did die in a way, so there we go. Thank you to Triton for posting the Discord link as well. If you haven't become a part of the Discord yet, highly recommend that you do. Let's see. What else do we have here? The Witcher, well, The Witcher is a whole little board game in itself. That's something that I want to play just personally in my own time sometime, but yeah, it's it'll take a lot to get through it, so yeah. Any other last second ones to get in there? Congratulations again to Axel, you're going to be a fantastic Lotum. So there we go, guys and gals. We're going to be wrapping things up here. Thank you for joining me for another Town Hall. It's been so good to see you all again. Patrons, we're going to be having our chat after this, so please do come along to that as well. Head to the Discord if you don't know what I'm talking about, and we'll get things together there. It really sucked missing the last Town Hall, and it's something that really does bookend and really start the month for me, is being able to have this moment where we can just stop for a second, breathe, and we can all just talk and hang out and have a good time. And it's always good to see you all here. So everyone that has been able to make it, thank you. If you're watching this video afterwards, thank you for just watching anyway and participating in it. I think the Town Hall is a big part of keeping our community together, keeping our community the way it is, keeping the Legion leading. Yeah, we'll go with that. Well, I'm going to be wrapping things up here. Thank you again to all of you for joining me. I have been Rycon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay tuned.